What's going on, guys? My name is Matt and I recently completed my first PC case mod ever. This mod is actually a part of a challenge myself and a bunch of other tech YouTubers picked up as a friendly competition. We each picked a superhero within the Avengers universe and based our mod around that, and we're calling ourselves the Techvengers. We had a max modding budget of $150, which I stayed well under, and this competition is completely aesthetics based, so the PC components used have no weight in judging. As you can probably tell by now, the superhero I selected was Iron Man. Being that this is my first mod like this, it definitely didn't turn out perfect, but I'm pretty happy with the results. I learned a lot and can't wait to apply what I learned to future mods. All of us decided that to keep things fair, we would each mod and build in the same case, and that case is the InWin 101. The InWin 101 is a surprisingly budget-friendly tempered glass case with a minimalistic design which acts perfectly as a blank canvas to mod to our desires. So what modifications did I make? Well, because I chose Iron Man, I knew I was going to want to paint the case in that classic red and gold that Iron Man is known for. I picked up a few cans of both dark red and goldish bronze Rust-Oleum paint, but only actually ended up using one can of each, which was very cost effective at less than $4 per can. I started by disassembling the case as far as I could without drilling out any rivets. I procrastinated a little on doing this mod, so I didn't really have time to completely disassemble the case. I used a few rolls of painter tape for a couple bucks each and some newspaper to mask off the parts of the case and sprayed multiple coats on each of the pieces I was painting. I was definitely too impatient in a few aspects of painting, and that resulted in a few minor blemishes and even a little chipped paint, but for the most part the paint job came out pretty well. I laid a base coat of red on the entire outside of the case and added some gold accents that run along the side and top of the case. I painted the feet of the case gold, which looks really good in my opinion, and painted the edges of the tempered glass side panel gold as well. For the back panel, I did a two-tone red and gold paint job, as well as did an admittedly amateurish painting of Iron Man himself. I used some acrylic craft paint for the portrait that was about $2.50 a bottle. I painted all of the I/O covers in gold, and I painted the front of the hard drive caddies in gold as well. In terms of the internals, I left most of the inside of the case the black color that it came as, and the only red and gold colors come from the red LED Cooler Master fans and the gold accents on the hard drive caddies and I/O covers. Because I left most of the inside black, I also went with a lot of neutral black components, including my old X99 motherboard and Xeon processor, G-Skill Trident Z RAM, and a Cooler Master 120mm AIO. The fans I used are Cooler Master RGB fans, which do factor into the budget because they are aesthetic additions and are $20 a piece. I used them because I had them on hand, but if I was buying fans, I would have just bought some cheap red LED fans instead because I'm not taking advantage of the RGB functionality on the fans I'm using. A few other additions I added to the case were painting the power button area gold, as well as adding an arc reactor to the front center of the case. This arc reactor was pretty cheap and easy to make. I cut some scrap acrylic into a ring, which while I already had the acrylic on hand, a similar piece could be purchased for $4 or $5. I got a small spool of copper wire I unsheathed and used to wrap around the acrylic, and used a drain assembly for the center of the arc reactor. The wire was $4 for the spool and the drain assembly was $7. I was going to backlight the arc reactor with a push button LED light, but couldn't figure the logistics of getting it small enough to fit behind the arc reactor. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the end result, but I wish I had been more meticulous to prevent stuff like paint chipping and paint pooling. Luckily though, most of my mistakes are in areas that will never be seen or are hard to notice. I definitely wish I had put more time and thought into the internals of the build also, as the all-neutral black aesthetic of the internal parts don't go that well with the Iron Man theme. With all this being said, I learned a lot about painting and modding PCs, and can't wait for the next opportunity to do it again. Like I said before, a bunch of other tech YouTubers also made builds based around the Avengers, and I'll have them all linked in the description down below. Also, you guys will be able to vote on the PCs starting in a few days when Scattervolt makes an announcement video on his channel, so make sure to watch all the mod videos and decide on which one you think is the best. So yeah guys, I think this wraps this video up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, as well as consider subscribing for more PC and tech related content in the future. And as always, this is Matt from Tech by Matt, and Matt from the Techvengers.
We have an army. We have a